Hello everyone! Today we are going to explain you two codes which are the solutions for two connected problems from the third contest. They are problems H, called Fibonacci numbers, and I, index of Fibonacci number. So let me start with problem H. It seems to me easier a bit. Well, Fibonacci number in general are the numbers which equal to the sum of two previous ones. Like, the first number is 0, the second number is 1, so the third one is sum of previous two, 0 plus 1, and it is 1. Then fourth one is sum of the third and the second elements, and it is 1 plus 1, so it is 2, and so on. Well, in the problem H, we need to input one number, for example n, and output nth Fibonacci number. So we need to output a Fibonacci number with an index n. Well, it is obvious that we should start with inputting a number. So we print n equal int input. Our next step will be initialization of variables, which will be used later in our code. So they will be a, b, and I. We will initialize them by assigning them values. So a will be assigned by 1, b by 1, and I by 2. Then we need to check two conditions. First one is whether n is equal to 0. So if n is equal to 0, we need to output 0. It is quite clear because we had just seen that their 0 Fibonacci number is 0. The second condition is whether n is equal 1 or n is equal 2. If so, we need to print 1. It is also quite clear because we just seen that their first and the second Fibonacci numbers are 1s. If none of these conditions holds, we should start a cycle while. So the program will work for all elements whose index is less than n. So while I is less than n, we start a cycle. Here we need to count the next element of Fibonacci number sequence. It is a sum of two previous ones, so we assign the smaller term the value of bigger term, and to the bigger term we assign the result of sum. So here we need one more variable, it will be c. C is sum of a and b. A we assign as b, and b we assign as c. After this, we need to add 1 to I to progress to next step. When I becomes equal to n, the cycle stops working and we need to print b. So b is their nth Fibonacci number. Now we can check whether our program works right. So for example, we input n equals 6 and it gives us 8 as a result, and this is true because 6th Fibonacci number is 8. One more example is we input 2 and we get 1 as a result, so it is also true. Well, this is all about the H problem. Now we can move to the problem I.
Let us move to the second problem connected with Fibonacci numbers. So, this problem seems to be an opposite to the problem H. Here we need to find an index of input of Fibonacci numbers. Well, first steps are the same as the problem H. We input number n and initialize three variables. So, we take the input and initialize three variables: a equals 1, b equals 1, and I equals 2, because we do already have two elements. Then we need to start a cycle while, which will be done when the condition that a is smaller than n is held. So in the cycle while, we assign a value of some a and b. And b we assign the value of a. Then we progress to the next step by adding 1 to I. Our next step is checking whether a is equal to n or not. If a is equal to n, that will print index of this element. If not, we assume that this element is not a Fibonacci number. So we print -1, as it was asked in the condition. Now we can check whether our program works right. So we input n equals 8 and get 6 as a result. It is true. And one more time, n equals 13 and get 7. It's also true. So that is all about the H problem. It is done. We hope that you enjoyed watching our tutorial. See you soon.